It seems like Zach LaVine's name has been thrown into yet again more trade talk. Let's see how far they've actually gone right now. Listen, if you're new to the channel, it's your boy PK with the Windy City Breeze. We talk Chicago sports, how Chicago talks. Get in tune. You know what you came for, man. Let's get into it. Listen, Zach LaVine has been on the trading block, hypothetically, or actually in all reality, for the last couple of weeks. And I'll be honest with you, I've been one of the biggest voices to say, absolutely not. This is a bad idea. Don't do it. Especially when it comes to dealing him to a potential suitor like the Philadelphia 76ers for a James Harden type player. Absolutely do not want to do. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. I do not want to see James Harden in a Bulls jersey. Obviously, I don't get to make that decision, but that's what's being reported. And with those reports being out there, it seems as if this is all part of a three-way trade to ultimately get Dame out of Portland and potentially to wherever he wants to go. I need people to understand something. Just because Zach LaVine's name is being brought up into that doesn't mean that we're going to land either Dame or James Harden. It could be something completely different, and it doesn't actually mean that even that Dame is even a part of that particular trade. However, it does seem as if that was the conversation, these preliminary, let me put the quotation marks up there, preliminary talks in these particular ordeal. Again, don't know the reality of that, don't know the validity of it, don't know exactly how true that is. But this is being heavily reported, and is being reported by some actual reputable sources, especially considering that Dame has been trying to get out of Portland for a minute. So at this point, this is where we stand. Has anything happened? Absolutely not. Nothing has happened. Nothing has happened. You know, Zach hasn't been traded, but we do know for a fact that his name has actively been brought up in a potential trade. So now that we have that on the table, we now know that if a trade is made, if something of value is presented, Zach LaVine could not be in a Bulls jersey to start the season. And that actually pains me a lot. I'm going to tell you why. Because out of all the people that we could trade, out of all the things that we can do, out of all the things that we could absolutely conceive to make this team better, trading Zach didn't seem to be the ideal fit while maintaining and keeping a DeMar DeRozan. I don't see the point. I don't see the logic. I don't see why you would go for the older star who's still going to make 28 to about 30 million this year. I'm not saying he's not worth it, but I mean, hey, if we're going to talk about common sense and things of that nature, then why not utilize him in a trade package? We have heard very little to nothing about DeMar getting traded, but we've heard everything, and the rumors have been loud about Zach LaVine. Now, this could be something that Zach LaVine wants himself. In fact, there has been some rumors that he is actually tired of hearing his name in trade talks. And if I was him, I'd actually feel the same way. As I've said before, Chicago as a fan base is a very finicky fan base. For some odd reason, we attach ourselves to players who haven't proven themselves, and then we sit there and we actually lambast players who've actually improved every single season simply because they didn't mature and actually skyrocket like other superstars in the league, despite the fact that those people have better situations. We've compared Zach LaVine to Devin Booker, who has had an all-star, no, not all-star, Hall of Fame, top 5 all-time point guard as someone who we can actually lean on to help elevate his game and look at what's happened there. Give Zach LaVine that same situation and see what happens. We haven't done it, but yet we compare. Devin Booker is still, right now, last season was cooking, having a great, historic playoff run as far as his production, but he was also standing next to Kevin Durant, who's also one of the best scorers in NBA league history, not just his era. You can put KD in any era in NBA history, and he's still going to be KD. Put Zach LaVine next to that type of player who demands that type of double team and that type of attention, and see how many points he scores. All I'm saying is keep it a buck, keep it fair, keep it real. We've been trying to, his name has been brought up in a lot of stuff simply because we haven't turned the corner as fast as we would like. And the most consistent player outside of Vooch has been Zach. And I stand on that. Our most explosive player outside of, our most explosive player is Zach. As far as shooting, very few, if only one person, in my opinion, from who can create his own shot, shoots better from 3 than Zach. Zach, when he's actually cooking, is locked on, please. Zach, since All-Star break, please. It's not worth even a conversation to consider anybody else on the team outside of DeMar, because there's only one person who can compete with a mid-range, and that's DeMar, who, by the way, is one of the best mid-range shooters in NBA history. You see a lot of the current themes I've been kind of presenting to you now. We compare them to players who've had all-time great talent next to him, and then we sit there and kill him when he doesn't give us all-time great numbers, when he doesn't have all-time great support. Come on, make it make sense, baby. But guess what? That's what the rumors are, and I'm just here to report the news. I can't make it. So at this point, that's what it is. Zach LaVine may actually be brought up in more trades. It actually may happen. And we know for a fact that their talks have been going on. We do know who the players are. We do know who the teams are. We do know what the assets, or at least some of the assets on the table may be. And it seems as if that's the case. But I want to hear your thoughts, man. I want to hear how you feel about this potential rumor being true, how you feel about Zach actually being on a chopping block. I want to hear all your thoughts and more in the comments, man. Whether it's love, whether it's hate, put it in the chat. I'll be in there with you. Seems like some of you all may get your wish may come true. I think it's a bad move, but just a guy on YouTube. Till next time.